I finally got around to show my process of making my bread, and so many people asked for that, and it's really super easy. Let me tell you, I've got just a plain bowl, whatever, and a cup, and I use 3 cups of all-purpose flour here, and I just do it like that, okay? You don't have to be absolutely exact with weights. So 3 cups of all-purpose flour, as well as 3 cups of whole wheat flour. You can mix and match however you feel like it. If you want a lighter bread, add a little bit more all-purpose flour. If you want a heavier bread, add more cups of whole wheat flour, but just 6 cups of flour. And I already prepared 1 teaspoon of dry yeast. I keep mine in the fridge because it lasts longer. So just mix it in here. Then 1 tablespoon of plain salt in here. And what I added this time is 1 teaspoon of ground cumin and 1 teaspoon of oregano. Because I also want to add olives for this type of bread, but you can leave any of these extras out, and that's just as fine. Just experiment with it. I also do like adding some rosemary in the bread every now and then, or you can mix some nuts in. I might add some, no, I'm sticking with olives this time. I just mix it together for a moment, and here I already prepared some water. It's 3 1/3 cup water, and I just mix it in here all together. It's not really freezing cold, but it doesn't have to be hot or anything. And I washed my hands earlier, so no worries. Just mix it together here. Mix it together until everything is just nicely incorporated. And I normally do that while counting to 30. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 30. And this here is the result. It's a pretty wet dough, and I just mixed everything so all the flour is nicely wet and everything's nicely mixed together, and that is it. Next part is put a towel over it and let it sit for about approximately 12 hours, plus minus. We'll continue tomorrow morning. Thank you. Good morning. So we had our dough from yesterday sit on my counter in the corner for overnight, and I wanted to show you how that looks now. It has a bit of a dry surface, but it definitely got a bit higher and fermented, or not fermented, but rose overnight. What I'm doing here right now is just take a scraper or your hands, it doesn't matter, but you just turn around. Go in there a few times, turn it around, and you can do that right in the morning after getting up, because it really does not take a long time. Okay, I'll take my hand now. I washed it, of course. mix it nicely around until everything of the surface is incorporated again. And here at this time I can add some things, and since I said yesterday I wanted to add some olives, I prepared them. They're a bit dried out now because I took them out earlier out of the brine. These are Kalamata olives, and it's approximately a cup. It's a bit more, but I just add it and mix it in. Don't worry about it. It's super easy. You could also, instead of the olives, you can add maybe some seeds, maybe pine seeds or nuts, or walnuts, for example, are really good in the bread. You don't have to add anything, whichever you prefer. If you wanted to have a lighter bread, definitely don't add anything, and it will be, you can use it for sweet bread or hearty bread, whichever. So I just mixed the olives in, and that's the first step to prepare. Olives are in, that's it. And I'll put it on the counter again for 1.5 hours to 2 hours, and we'll take care of it later. Hi, we're back. So it's about 2 hours later, and let me show you our dough now. And it's risen quite nicely to 2/3 of the bowl here, and I'll just put it in the oven now. So grab your oven mitts and be really super careful, because I already put my Dutch oven in the oven at 475 degrees Fahrenheit. So 475 degrees, it has to tolerate high heat. But I put it in here, the bottom and the top. Here is the top. And don't forget to put it on a surface which can tolerate that heat as well. I just put some corn flour on the lid in this case, just a little bit to prevent it from sticking. And where did I put this? Here. Grab my scraper and just carefully scrape out. Ooh, don't touch anything here. It's really hot. Don't breathe in too deep, because it really is. Even the steam is hot. So I'm just pushing in the olives a little bit more. Have it here in the lid. And now I already prepared something. So I like cumin seeds on top of the bread. So I just put a little bit of cumin seeds on there. And here you can also add a little bit of coarse salt, which I have here. I have Himalayan sea salt, but whatever coarse salt you have. Don't overdo it. You don't need a lot of salt. There's already salt in the dough. And if you feel like it, a few rosemary leaves, but that's totally optional. I just like it. All right, lid on. And back in the oven. Super careful not to burn yourself. I've done that so many times. With the lid on for 35 minutes. Then take the lid off and another 25 minutes in the oven, and we'll see you when it's ready. there, my timer just went off and I wanted to take off the bread. So careful, don't burn yourself. Here you go. That's it. Okay. Normally when you take out the bread, resist the temptation to cut into it right away. For showing purposes, I will do it anyways. So be super careful when you take it out. And normally, like I said, leave it just on a crate or on a cutting board for at least an hour before you cut into this bread. I already have my knife here, and to show it, can you hear this? Here you go. It's this easy. Enjoy your bread. Homemade and adjusted to your preferences.